Welcome to Cavan TV News and Views. Thank you to Cyril for the use of the broadband and to Positive Age for the use of the studio here in Drummondlea. Well, as you know and you're all well aware of, we are in the middle of lockdown, stage 5 of a lockdown. Hopefully next week we'll see a release of that. But as we have in the last year, we've been getting used to the new norm. Our life has changed. It's not the way it was. We certainly can't congregate in crowds anymore like we're used to. And that has changed a lot of things in our life. Football matches, gigs, music, theatre, the cinema even, things have changed. And one of the things that has changed a lot in Snowdon, that has been affected maybe most in this lockdown, is of course the live music industry. And this evening in the studio we're going to talk about that, and I have my great friend from Ballina, Kathy Durkin, to talk about. Who else better to talk about the music industry? Only Kathy. Welcome, Kathy.
Thanks, Anya. Thanks a lot.
Yes, Kathy. Yeah, we go back a long way to Ballina, don't we?
To the community centre, and you were very, very young, and of course I think I was only about 24, 25 at the time, and my kids were very young, and you weren't even married. But
not at all. That was a long time ago, and life was great then, and yeah, it will be again. Kathy, and you've been the guest of the hospital choir in Cavan, and you sang your great hit there.
Yes.
Was a candle 2 years ago?
Oh my God,
yeah. And actually, that's what I'm feeling very sad about at the moment. Is for the first time, I think this would have been year number 6 that we would have been doing our hospital special.
Yes.
And of course, none of it anymore. But that's why I brought you into the studio here this evening, to talk about musicians, people involved in the music industry, how the lifestyle has changed around, has actually disappeared.
More or less disappeared, except, there's the odd bit people are doing online. There's nothing open, let's face it. I was only in the music business in the last, say, a few years, part-time, but even part-time, no matter, that's all was in it anyway at the time. But for us, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. For the younger people, now, with me being that little bit seniority of the, but the younger people, those people I really feel sorry for, because they have all their lives ahead of them, no income coming in except the COVID, but they would have a lot of big bills to pay, mortgages on cars.
Life to live, yeah.
Life to live.
Yeah.
Money that had spent on recordings and nothing for it now.
Their careers are in fact stalled. Their career prospects have in effect stalled, and they don't know when they pick up where things are going to go. But it's sad. Okay, that's a livelihood going down the drain, but us Irish, we love a good song and dance, and no matter where we go, there is music there. We love a live gig, be it intimate, be it huge, we love it.
Yeah.
Irish people all over the world are like that. That has just stopped.
Yeah, with the exception now of the radio and online.
Yeah. And
people that are doing the online videos and online Facebook. That's really all there is. There is nothing. And as I said, you have Ronan Collins on 12 o'clock every day. He plays good music for the people. Then you have the local radio. And that's what people are living for. Sending in requests to hear their songs, they want to hear. Nothing we can do about it. We just have to, as my brother said to me, suck it up. There's a lot of people that are as badly off as we are. I know entertainment-wise they're hit the worst. There's no doubt about that, because a lot of them that went into the entertainment sort of give up on their other careers, and they have nothing to go back to. And if they did, there's nothing open. Like the hotel, if they was into hotel business or bar business, they're all closed as well. So for people out there with young families, it's very tough. Really and truly is very tough for the entertainers and like guitar players. It's not just the entertainers. You have soundmen. There's a long list of people just to get that
crew. You've surrounded. Yeah, surrounded.
For example, the theatres. You have the theatre in Virginia. You have the town hall in Cavan. All of those places that would be up and running now, and fantastic gigs there for the Christmas time is when all of the entertainers made their money. Summertime, St. Patrick's Day, the summer festivals, all of that.
Lost out on all of that. How do you feel and you were a professional artist, how do you feel when you hear the likes of Heather Humphreys saying to turn around, go pick your life, go change your life and go do something else? And she has in fact said that.
She has said that. Now, I would have different views on that. I would say Yes, we should have. If we didn't, we should have a plan B. It's great to have it. I think music is a gift, but we should have something in place. This is only my opinion. Maybe to put something into place.
I don't think that's fair to say that, Kathy, because like I've my day job and I do my day job and that's it. And I don't have to think of having a plan B because I never think anybody's going to tell me to turn around and do something else. Like, you know what I mean? So why should that be for a musician?
I know exactly what you're saying. This is only my opinion. I think that, for an example, loads of entertainers went off to America. They couldn't make it as an entertainer in America to work. So what do? They end up going into a different job, and they'll do the entertainment as a sidekick. This is a pandemic we're in. We have to. Years ago, somebody said to me, "It's in a terrible times we're living in." Well, I can remember in 1979 and 1980, terrible times, and the music was going well at that time, but there was nothing. I had to give up my job because my son was very, very sick. There was no unemployment. There was no COVID payment. There was no nothing. Those days I didn't have enough teeth.
Yeah.
So, but now with this, all of this here now, at least we have. There's a payment. There's some sort of a small payment, and if you are like, I know some of our musicians turned to, like Robert Mazzell turned to making furniture, and people went out and turned to a plan B.
I saw that, yeah.
Everybody, Declan Ernie was talking to the other day, and he was saying that he had turned to do a little bit of farm and helping out his brother. He had been out in the farm for so long, and it gave him time to think. I think we were on a. I'm not saying a merry-go-round, but this pandemic, I think, has also taught us to think as well and put things into perspective.
Well, of course, that from a musician's point, yeah. Always though, a musician's career always is like you're always as good as your last gig, really. You know that,
yes.
like, you know, like even being professional, you're only as good as your next or your last gig. So music always had been a difficult career, and you could be big one day and disappear the next day. That is the way the music industry is, which for talented artists and all they want to do is sing and play and produce their music and give it to other people, that is hard to take.
I remember going to Nashville in Tennessee, and there's so many musicians in Nashville, and there's no pandemic on there, and the Gatland brothers, they just to get a gig, they came in and they sang harmonies on my album, but they were working came in and they were amazing artists. The Gatland brothers, they're great. They had great albums and everything out, but because Nashville, Tennessee, there's so many, and there wasn't enough work for everybody, they just had to find something different to turn to. So I say to people, all right, if you can do some, always have there was a man, Lord rest his soul, always used to say that to me, and if you don't mind me mentioning, it was Nigel Pratt, God rest him, and he always used to say to me in the music business, you know, Kathy, always have a plan B. And that's why I say, if you can go back and if you can do something, and if you think that, if you're an artist, I think you can turn your hands to an awful lot of things. Like I started baking more. I started doing different things.
You started walking?
Well, I did. I've been walking. But
walking.
I missed out a lot as well with the band. In the early stages, when I was out 7, 8, 9 nights a week, or if there was 9 nights and I'd be working 9 gigs, I could be working the afternoon on a Saturday and a Sunday. But I missed out a lot with my kids. You know what I mean? And now you only appreciate it then when you're off and doing nothing. You can see so many wonderful things, even in the country, and maybe it's a wake-up call for us all. Maybe the Lord is doing. I'm not a big one into that, but maybe it could be a wake-up call, a slap on the wrist.
But look at life going forward for the future. Like, we talk about the new norm. This is the new kind phrase. Like, we have to get used to this new norm: face masks, social distancing. You know, not just. Everybody in and out of everybody's houses. We have to be so careful. So, like, what way would you see, you know, live music going in the new norm? Do you see it even having a place in the new norm?
I would say not until probably May, June of next year. There'll be no new norm. I wouldn't say until then. Until we have a vaccine, there will be no people in the theatres. There'll be no people in the halls, in the concert halls, there'd be no, you know, and that's the way.
So there really is. There's no plan B for the music. Then it's we have to wait. You have to wait and see. You just can't start putting it out online or anything like that.
No.
Out online, as we were discussing earlier, that's not for everybody either.
No, it's not. Certainly, it's not for me. I wouldn't be the best online now. And even to put on, a bit like Daniel O'Donnell when he started off online. He was great fun. But I couldn't do it. I see my son does it. Andres is on it all the time, and he does a Friday night show online. But not me.
Yeah. And also as well, it won't bring in the bread and butter either. It's not going to bring in much bread and butter.
It's only keeping you in there and for people to still think that you're alive.
Well, it does one thing. It keeps your name out there, and it also keeps keeps the singing going, and keeps keeps you up with with your trade.
And along with all of that, you tend to learn more songs. At my age, it's harder to learn a song now because your intake isn't as good as what it was when you were younger.
But remember,
so it takes me longer to learn a song. So now this Slamtown has, now I'm sort of learning more songs and learning more things.
Yeah. That's the music business and how you see it going forward, Kathy. But we'll talk a bit now about the sort of the well-being or the mental state of the country at the moment. And God knows, when we meet everybody every day, we're all feeling it. And I mean, we're all feeling it in some way.
Yes. I think
it is getting us down.
I think it's the loneliness in a lot of cases, the loneliness of not being able to meet and not being able to go out and interact with people, and then you're afraid that maybe, even if you do go to somebody's house, a friend, and I'm not talking about 10 or 20, I'm just talking about 2, you feel guilty about doing that. But it's the whole. I don't know where it's going to end until a vaccine comes in, and I think we're just going to have to sit back and wait. Yeah,
we're going to have to be wary of each other as well, and watch out for each other, and keep an eye on each other, and keep each other propped up, really. Yeah, because the mental health of people as well is very serious, and it's very sad. But and as we can see here in Cavan, without mentioning too much, but it's fact and it's out there. Like, we've seen a lot of young men taking their lives in Cavan, and I say that with the greatest of sincerity. It's a tough thing. It's out there. And you don't know who you're talking to, who you might affect or who you could help either. No, I talked to a lady today that I work down in Tipperary, and she just told me that she lost her grandson last week, and he was only 15, and couldn't deal with it. And I mean, that's only one. If I listened to the news yesterday, I think there was 8 people between Cavan, Monaghan in 1 week. 8. It's sad, and I think this is affecting the young people more than it's affecting my age group. Yeah, we can come through a lot. We've come through 2 or 3 recessions, and I think that's the way we're built. But the younger people, they've had such a good time. It was like the first recession in 2008. They weren't able to cope, is the word, because they had there was a lot going on in their lives, and for it to stop. It's not easy for them to take it, because that's not the way they were trained, and that's not, so I do feel for the younger people, and I do hope that it comes to an end soon. I feel maybe the young people and the old people, like the senior people, who are now living on their own. And put so much into life. That is hard. Yes, that's hard where the hard things. So we just watch out for people like that. Yeah. And to keep in mind that they might like a visit, even if it's only through a window, and wave in through a window to them, but keep an eye on your neighbour, call down, even though you don't go in. But yes, that's I do that down at home where I come from, Butler's Bridge, at a call to the odd person, and just even to my own brother and stuff, I go down there and do as much as I can. But it makes their life so much easier. Yeah, it doesn't cost them. A smile on their face, absolutely. So let's talk things more light. Now we're all heading towards. We're in the dark of November now, and we're heading into Christmas, and the onus is on ourselves to make it as good a Christmas as we can. Okay, so I think it's back to basics. It's back to being sincere with people, to being on a level with people, to be intimate with people, and to be basic, like a simple thing like a card, give somebody a call at Christmas. Yeah. Go to your bubble for a cup of tea, simple as that. It'll mean a lot this Christmas, won't it? An awful lot, and people have the time in their hands as well. A lot of the likes of me and a lot of other musicians have time in their hands. Maybe send somebody a Christmas card. A little Christmas card. Do it. Go and do it. And if you know of anyone, I'll be doing it. Everyone else,
just get out there and send a little Christmas card, a little call, even a little note. If it's not a Christmas card, a little note to say how are you doing, and for this Christmas, because we have the time on our hands, so we might as well start writing little notes, little cards. You don't have to go all out with big fancy cards or anything like that. As long as it's your writing and it comes from you, it means a lot.
Okay, Kathy, I love chatting to you. We chat plenty. We meet quite often and we chat plenty. If I was to say to you, Kathy, you are a woman who's had like such a great life, travelling around the world, singing and doing it all, been up there and doing that. And somebody says, oh, I'm really fed up with life. I'm fed up with life. There's nothing left. There's nothing here. There's everything. And somebody's just feeling down. And what would you say to them? In a short little few sentences, what would you say to somebody like to perk them up?
I have had that. Even the last week, I've had that. People saying, oh, isn't it terrible? Isn't this awful? And I just said, look, while you have your health, you have enough teeth and you're kept warm and you can smile. And you can smile at others. That means an awful lot. It's the people that can't smile and what they're feeling inside. But if you can give them a smile, make them feel happy, going away, we have an awful lot to be thankful for. As I said, I based on it, or I said it there earlier on about in 1979, when it was cold, you didn't have enough heat. We have plenty of heat now. Most people have plenty to eat. And just be with your family and spend time with your family and just give them a smile. This too will pass.
Exactly, Kathy, well said. And as I just said before that, it's back to basics. A simple cup of tea and a low, and give somebody a smile.
A smile.
Exactly. Well done, Kathy. I wish you a happy Christmas with Andy and the family and the grandchildren. So many grandchildren have you now?
And hopefully I have two.
Great.
One is 17 and the other little girl is 21 months.
Oh, bundle of joy.
Bundle of joy.
Great.
And of course, maybe for Christmas we might have the Sam Maguire Cup. Sure, who knows?
Maybe, yeah.
They'll be there.
It's been such a peculiar year, nothing would faze us.
At this stage, it's out there.
And I was just going to say, Kathy, you're no stranger to the football, kicking the football yourself in the day.
Oh, Lord. And as I said, I enjoyed every minute of it. And I'm enjoying this. I will enjoy this next 2 weeks. No matter who wins, it's going to be great to look at it. Great football and history and everything else. It's exciting. And hopefully Cavan, they've done very well and they will do us proud.
Well done. That's from a girl coming from a family steeped in GAA history. Well done. And we'll say once again, Kathy, thank you for coming and talking to us into the studio and cheering us up this evening. Thank you.
All right, and great to talk to you.